Hello, ZD YouTube. This is the YouTube crew. We are currently at the Zelda Dungeon Marathon, and although we can't do a video to record, we just wanted to get together to chat about our reaction and thoughts about the brand new announced Zelda game, Echoes of Wisdom. Are you guys excited?
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Very excited.
It was so unexpected.
It was. How about this? Did any of you expect it to be in the Link's Awakening 2019 art style?
Definitely not a new game.
Not really, no.
I think when I first saw this art style, my first thought was, "Oh, Oracle remakes, cool.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing." I never would have thought that they were going to take a remake style that they used and turn it into a new game. That's a bit of a surprise.
It's such a great art style, and I'm interested to see how it actually works in this game because it fit so perfectly with Link's Awakening because that was like a remake of a Game Boy game, so the little toy aesthetic made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And this seems like it's very cutesy. You got Zelda as the protagonist, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm interested to see how everything looks.
Yeah, I think I'd much rather this be the case than any sort of remake. You know what I mean? People are saying like the Oracle's ones were talked for a while, that could be cool. But then people are even saying Minish Cap and I'm like I think it's cooler. I mean, all would be good, but I think seeing a new game, cooler, especially when we can play those games currently on the Switch, you know, it's like sure they don't have certain quality of life things, but they exist, and so I'm kind of stoked that, you know, we're more directly getting something that looks like a totally like unique experience. You know, I'm more excited to play something like completely new that I've not seen before.
I'm all for a good remake, but I would much prefer new Zelda content than remakes.
Definitely.
Any day.
It is funny though that people have noticed, like when you look at the landscape and the map of what we've seen in the map, it looks a lot like A Link to the Past or Link Between Worlds Hyrule. A lot of stuff is in the same spot with some differences of like Death Mountain's now in the northwest or something. It seems like they've added some spots. But,
with like Gerudo as well.
Yeah, Gerudo Town,
Both Zoras.
Yeah,
We got
that's
little,
awesome.
Like,
you get River Zora and Ocean Zora.
Encounter in that trailer.
Yeah.
With the cute little bow tie.
Yeah.
He's got
Actually, that's something I was noticing. The NPCs look amazing.
They do.
They
They look so cute. Like all of them look unique and cute.
I took a close zoomed in screenshot of the two Zoras that are like farther back.
They look like
they
little
just have like the
princes.
goofiest expressions.
They do. The River Zora is just like blank stare.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect meme material, I think.
Oh, there's already been so many memes from
memes.
this one trailer. It's wild.
I also didn't expect, like, this seems like a very off the cuff, unexpected announcement, and it's funny that this is the one where it's like we finally get Zelda as a protagonist.
Which is awesome.
It is awesome.
Yeah. I like the way they showed that off in the trailer too.
Yep. The little intro at the beginning of the trailer with Link getting sucked into the rift.
Bye-bye.
I think I remember like an interview where they were talking about the possibility of a playable Zelda. And I don't remember exactly what they said, but I think they kind of were talking about how if they did that, they wanted to find the right concept for it.
Yeah.
They didn't just make her, you know, Link. It's not the same play style. She's got her own thing going on.
She definitely does. That is something, actually, one of the things, overall, I think this looks amazing and I want to play it a lot. Something I think it probably won't take too long because it seems like there are so many echoes and ways you could handle enemies. But the fact that you're not going around swinging a sword, I think it's going to take me a little bit to get used to how the combat works in this game.
Oh, big time. Yeah, it's a completely different game style.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, awesome because it doesn't make sense for Zelda to run around swinging a sword.
Yeah.
Like, it's got to be something different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if it's like, I guess it'll be hard because it looks so close to a game, or it probably won't be hard. You know, I feel like it's probably it'll be intuitive to pick up how the combat encounters work and stuff. But I think I can see that where it's like it already looks like Link's Awakening, so you go into it thinking like Link's Awakening, just run up to the enemy and slash it.
And
But
slash it.
I assume that'll be the onboarding for that style will be pretty.
There
I'm
must just
sure.
be like plenty of echoes, because Aonuma was saying that he hasn't even counted how many are in the
Yeah.
game yet. So I'm sure there are just going to be so many options for how you want to take out an enemy that it's not really going to be an issue at all.
And I'm sure in classic Nintendo, especially Zelda fashion, there will be a fairly hefty, sort of tutorial section to
Right.
teach you how this all
Probably, yeah.
works, and get you comfortable with a brand new mechanic.
Something I was saying before is that, the echo ability seems like it's going to be the main way that you do everything. And so, like, ways that you traverse the overworld or even solve puzzles. And that feels like something, like an idea that they took off of what worked in Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Right.
With, like, ultra handing stuff together. Like you're on a sky island, you have to get from one island to another. You could do the puzzle where you put the cart on the thing and it goes across, or you could just make a big log bridge out of a bunch of trees you knock down. And this feels a little bit
Or
like
launch
that.
yourself over,
Yeah.
or fly over. There's so many things you can do.
Because of you can do the echo ability and like stack them and stuff. It seems like that's going to be, oh, I have this echo. How can I make this work?
Yeah.
To accomplish this puzzle, which is cool.
Now, I did see a couple of people here at the marathon pointing out the little triangles at the top of the picture
Yes.
of the echo. And it sort of appears like you might have a set number of echoes you can use at once. And that's something I would assume we upgrade as we go. So that kind of unlocks new areas by having more echo abilities.
I think you actually do see that in the trailer. It's like when you get the Moblin, it has two triangles above it, meaning it takes two triangles. And the triangles are the little triangles that are following your new companion Tri.
Yeah.
So when you use one of those goes away to do the echo. And that's how many you have. And at one point you see her with 3. Her, I'm assuming it's a her.
I think they say her.
At one point you see her with 3, at another point you see her with 4.
Yeah.
So there must be.
So think maybe like you do a dungeon and you get your heart piece, but you also get a new triangle
New echo
or an
slot.
upgrade. Or
Could be like a collectible 2 thing, like heart pieces or something.
Yeah, there's like these weird little kind of like cactus-ish looking things
I
around the
noticed
map.
Those, yeah.
They're like these yellow things. They look almost like something from Pikmin 4, kind of. But they're marked on the map.
They kind of remind me of like gyroids a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
From Animal Crossing.
they're interesting, but that's got to be something important. They could be warp points. They could be like
That's where my mind
refill
went to, is warp
stations
points,
or
but
something like that. I don't know what it's gonna look like.
I don't know if you guys have thought about side content yet or not.
Ooh, not
but
really.
I feel like the echoes are gonna make perfect like side content, side quest types of things.
Ooh.
Like I even noticed there's like a
That's a great
decorative
idea.
shrub. So it's like you could decorate a house or something.
That's
Oh,
so
come
true.
on,
You could
that
have
better
like
be a thing.
you could go to like an NPC's house and they're like, I just moved in and I don't have a bed, so I can't sleep, and you have to like get an echo of a bed from
If that's
somewhere.
not a thing, it's a bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's,
If that's not in it sucks.
The house at the beginning of the trailer where they show off the table for the first time, it already looks bigger than any house that you can walk in Link's Awakening. So, I mean, that could be like maybe a little safe house that you can decorate or something like that. Which
Yeah,
would be
you have a
very
secret
fun.
base.
Yeah. My other thought is like Zelda's wearing the hood,
yeah.
right? She grabs Link's hood after he goes away, and she's
She
wearing
has her
it.
wand of Gamelon.
I'm wondering. Yes, exactly. I'm wondering if she's like in hiding, like she's not supposed to be doing this because maybe she's like in disguise with that hood on,
Could be.
and like
She's a very simple outfit.
yeah,
It looks like she's locked up at one point.
yeah. So
she-
that's when you meet Tri,
But she also literally walks right past some guards at another point.
and
so
they
I don't
kind of
know.
just like look over at her.
Maybe they're cool with her at that
So
point.
I don't know. There's gonna be. I think she might be like a little stealthy, which with
That is cool.
the features of the echoes, there's definitely gonna be like stealth elements and stuff.
Yeah,
for
and there's
sure.
that. There's another point in the trailer where it looks like a. Actually, it's something interesting. It seems like they're incorporating a lot of like traditional, like 3D Zelda elements into this game. There's a bunch of Sheikah stuff,
Yeah.
and the Gerudo are in it, and the different types of Zora are in it. But there's one scene where like Zelda's standing around a corner, and then some like Sheikah ninja person is like attacking a bunch of the soldiers.
Yeah. I was it like my first thought was Impa, but it's
Yeah,
like
it
I
could
don't
be.
know if that is Impa. Like it, or we could just like get some cool Sheikah in 2D, which would be really fun.
It could be. There's a classic. Looks like a Sheikah, like an inventor guy, crazy inventor
Yeah.
guy.
Oh yeah, there's always got to be one
old,
of those.
old crazy inventor guy.
Crazy old Maurice.
Yeah.
I think the setting is cool. Like, it's I like how it's familiar for doing a concept that in 2D is kind of more like the modern thing. It kind of is fusing
Yeah.
those two things, and I think like, I don't know if like, I think the A Link to the Past kind of Hyrule is kind of the perfect like foundation.
I do love that world.
Because I mean, it is in terms of 2D Hyrule.
Yeah.
And if we're trying to
It's the
evoke
epitome
like
of that.
the Zelda series as a whole, like in 2D, I feel like it kind of is the blueprint for it all. So it makes sense as that kind of setting. And I liked in the trailer how it opened up with kind of a classic battle between it's like Link and that's where I most have gotten the feelings of like kind of how it is like just like this same setting you see a lot of Link fighting Ganon and Zelda and the crystal,
Yeah, and the crystal, it's a big thing.
Classic crystal, Zelda and a crystal.
But then like kind of flipping it and having this like unique mechanic that's kind of out of the box. I wonder how the game play or like the game world overall will walk the line between the old mechanic and new. It seems like it'll probably, I don't know, it seems like it'll probably have a lot of stuff you could maybe sequence break, but at the same time it's not going to be like it doesn't look like it'll be massive, so it might also have a more bespoke challenges that are less like somewhere in between, maybe between like a traditional like one solution puzzle and a modern like million solution puzzle, maybe since it's not so big.
I think that's what's really cool about this is also, I feel like this is also pretty much the first time that we're gonna see a lot of that, like a lot of their open air concept be translated to a 2D game.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's what they're gonna do, is they're just gonna make it so that because you have this ability, you can pretty much go wherever, as long as you can figure out a way to get there. And it'll be really cool to see how they make that, like that format of unlocking a game world work in a smaller scale game.
Or like
so exciting.
Whatever a dungeon, if there's a dungeon element to it, how will that be? Because will it be like
different dungeon orders, or like
that's what I wonder, because like with the Link Between Worlds, like a lot of the dungeons are designed to where you only need one specific item or maybe some none at all. And I wonder like what they'll do with something like Echoes, where it's like, are they all going to be designed to be beaten with things you can find? If there is I don't know what they'll do. I assume there'll be dungeons.
It looks like you can see dungeons in the trailer.
Yeah, there are things that I
like
thought looked like dungeon, and I think at the end they were showing a boss.
Yeah, it did look boss, like the big rock thing.
That's right, coming out of the ground.
There's
That little
point,
cinematic.
The one where the area of the trailer where she's in like a water.
Yeah, that looks like a dungeon.
That looks like a dungeon.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's got like, she
Straight
goes
out of
up
Link's
on the
Awakening.
platform, and then you can also see in the top left corner, there's a chest that's blocked by pots in the front. Which that's a very like Link's Awakening style thing, where you literally need to get like the grip ring so that you can lift up the pot. But that makes me wonder, like, why did they do it in this, you know?
Well, then that makes
Is it
me
gonna be
think,
the
are
same?
there items that we
Yeah.
collect besides
Are there
just
still
echoes?
items?
Yeah, will there be that, or like
or just
specific
specific
things you can echo?
Yeah, specific echoes that are less like, oh, you can use this whenever to do anything, but more specific.
I'm just excited.
It is exciting.
Yeah.
And we're
It is very
from the announcement day, 100 days away from playing it.
That's wild.
Which
too.
is just
September.
Is just so wild, but super exciting. You guys have any final thoughts? McKenna?
I hope we can echo some musical instruments.
Ooh.
Oh, that would be sweet.
Yeah.
I wonder if we can echo NPCs. Make them
Oh
talk
my
to
gosh.
each other.
Can echo cats and dogs.
You're
Just
lonely.
echo a
You
bunch of
wanna have
dogs.
We're having a party today. It's just an echo party.
An echo party.
Look at all my friends who came to the party.
There was a cat on a roof.
I know there was a
It was
very
so
cute cat.
cute.
It was like a little calico. It was adorable.
That is very cute.
Oh. What about you, Goo? What are
I'm
your
just,
main
I
thoughts?
think it's cool that they're, you know, I mean, I guess I never thought they were going to, but that it's like we're still gonna get some great 2D Zelda games, and that it's gonna be games that they put their natural that classic Nintendo creativity into. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, you see all the time demands for just like traditional Zelda, and I feel like it's kind of like, I mean, maybe this will be good for people because I feel like it feels traditional, quote unquote, but
Yeah.
I feel like does anybody actually just want like another just straightforward
Swing your sword, go to the next
I feel
room.
like people say they do, but
I mean,
I
that's
don't think
always
I don't
fun.
think people know what they want.
I mean, that can be
Yeah.
fun, but I kind of like being wowed by some new
Yeah, they gotta
play style.
They
So.
gotta break the
To
conventions.
me, traditional Zelda is breaking
Yeah,
boundaries.
every time.
Yeah,
That's what they do.
So like this
that's
kind
what
of
they've been doing since 1986.
What they do.
I just like that it's like it's got that, but it's like also kind of one of the most like just in terms of the way it's initially presented is well because we also don't know. I guess I would also add we don't really know much about that whole purple stuff.
The rift,
Yeah.
yeah, I was
Purple
gonna say
stuff.
that the
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 rift.
rifts,
It like
kind
it does
of-
show a moment where she is inside of this
Yeah.
other world.
and it kind of looks like there's like trees that are
There-
in water. That's where she copies where she gets
wa-
the
gets
echo
the water.
of the water
Yeah.
block. And that makes me think: are they gonna be almost like little mini like pocket dungeon, almost like
shrines.
versions of shrines?
Yeah.
Where you go into a rift and it's just like a
Oh, that'd be cool.
few room puzzle or something like that.
There might even be like a dark world
Yeah,
sort
yeah,
of
yeah.
situation.
It'd be
Well, that's-
cool if like there were maybe multiple rifts that were kind of part of the same area, but
Like
you know,
connect a little
like
bit?
Skullwood style. Had
Yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
That would be really
Like-
sweet. Well, that's like
I'm
a
thinking like
classic A Link to the Past,
Subrosia.
A Link Between Worlds style, like back and forth between the Dark World
Yeah.
puzzle.
Yeah.
And it's in that world, so.
Yeah, should be cool.
I'm also a little baffled by the fact that we are getting this a year and a half after the Tears of the Kingdom release,
Yeah,
which
that
is
is
very
pretty wild.
awesome.
I think it kind of makes sense because it's
The delays
I
and
think
everything.
Tears took longer than they thought.
Yeah.
They
So I
must
feel
have
like
been
it would've
working
been-
on it like
I-
towards the end of Tears, or like the second half of Tears.
Right.
They must have had the Link's Awakening 2019. They were like, all right, well, let's start doing something with it.
Yeah, exactly. I think that I mean they probably used a lot of similar like.
Yeah.
It seems like they came from a similar origin point. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
And I think that's cool
I
because I mean, not to get into a whole thing about Tears, but I sort of was thinking just asking you last night or whatever, like what do they do next, like after Tears and all
Yeah, I
those
don't know.
mechanics. And I think this is cool to kind of like to this is using a similar thing in it's way different, but using a similar thing
Mm-hmm.
in
Yeah.
but like
It's
not
like a
just
similar.
reusing it. you
It's
know
like
what
a
I mean?
similar approach to the puzzle solving.
Yeah, yeah,
and to the
exactly.
exploration, but it's not exactly.
They're
That's what's so cool. It's like they're still doing their like new view
yes.
of Zelda, but like you said, it's the world from A Link to the Past. It's using a remake art style that already feels super familiar. It has all of the elements from classic Zelda, like Zora and the Hyrule, and
Mm-hmm.
so they're combining the old and the new.
I mean, they're
It's
super
pretty sweet.
focused on the gameplay experience, right? They're not.
Yeah.
They don't want
Always
us to
have.
just hack and slash our way through a dungeon and hope that that's that. You know, they want it to be interesting and fun. They want to have creative ideas. It's not a Nintendo game unless they're, coming up with something ridiculous for someone to try. There's always a gimmick in a Zelda game, right? So
Yeah.
it's like the gimmick they're very upfront with, and they have been since Breath of the Wild. So I think it's cool that they're just being like, here's the gimmick. It's going to be fun.
This is it.
We're all excited
You're
about
gonna,
it.
you're gonna love it.
Yeah. Well, we're
So where in the timeline is it?
no, okay. We'll talk about that later.
It's gonna retcon you down.
This
It's
is-
gonna be the retcon
you know what?
start
This is
of the
another-
downfall timeline.
Yeah, this is a new
Ooh.
That scene,
Alright.
that scene in the beginning of the trailer, is actually it's sort of a
It's what if-
reinterpretation
it's
of the
what if-
scene from Ocarina of Time.
Yes.
Link's fighting Ganon.
Oh my gosh.
And
Zelda's
Link
in the
fails.
crystal. Link fails.
Yeah.
And
Gets sucked into the rift.
and that explains why, because you never see in the game
That
why
happened.
you fail. Well, because
Why?
all of a sudden now
Well, he
we've got
does
this.
appear to defeat Ganon.
There's some outside of this dimension rift
Yeah.
that opens up and it goes back to into the. It's like time travel.
before
And that's my headcanon.
before we like wrap it up, what do you guys think? Because in the key, they released the key art, and in the background of the key art,
Link looks evil.
you see Link looks evil. I didn't think
He
that.
looks evil.
Well, I was just gonna say like Link and Ganon are prominently like they're doing the little floating head thing, but like why would they do that if neither of them are going to be in the game after this?
Oh no, they're definitely
First
in
thing.
it.
They're gonna
If
be
you
part
look
of
at it,
yeah.
Ganon and Link are both surrounded in like a purple,
Yeah, they're in
cloudy
the purple
stuff,
They're
and Link
in purple land.
Link is just like standing there. But I'm
Yeah.
thinking we might have to fight like a little Shadow Link
Fuck it, Link.
situation.
They're gonna turn the table.
Yeah,
That'd be nuts.
The table. I actually and
Zelda's gonna flip the table back out.
Flip the table.
I think what
Give him
they're-
a chair.
there's probably gonna be some villain we haven't seen, right? Like with maybe
yeah.
that relates to that
Could be.
rift.
Yeah.
Like a Yuga kind of situation that still relates back to Ganon in the end or something.
I think it's gonna
It
be.
looked like
I
his
think it's
trident
gonna be
opens
like it's gonna be kind of like Link and Ganon are doing their little fight, and there's actually gonna, I think for once, someone above.
Maybe.
I guess.
My only thought is the first rift
big
appears to come
baddie.
out of the
Yeah,
trident.
it comes from his trident, but still,
Oh.
like, what
So
does that
I don't
mean?
know.
maybe
that
he
was
got-
his like
he
fail
got the
safe.
trident from someone else.
Yeah, maybe
Like
it was like a little fail
if
safe.
Ganon had captured Zelda already,
Yeah,
and
okay,
was like,
this is my it's a retcon.
yeah,
I think that whole retcon kind of makes sense to me now.
I think that would be. I feel like that would be. I think what it's actually gonna be is it's just gonna be like they're gonna be
they're
like,
not going to say
it's at the
Yeah.
they'll probably say it's in like that, it's the whatever, the Link to the Past world, they'll say like it's after,
It's after all that.
It's
all
between
that.
the two oracles.
right, yeah.
yeah,
but
yeah, it makes sense.
otherwise I don't think they'll acknowledge it too much.
I kind of hope they
Right?
don't.
No, Brian, I don't think.
But maybe.
Just let us speculate and have fun, like the old days.
Yeah.
Well,
All right.
thanks, guys. I'm excited. We'll learn more about it. I'm
Echoes
sure.
of Wisdom.
Echoes of Wisdom.
Try is super cute, by the way.
Very
Oh, Try's
cute.
adorable.
What if it's horrible?
It might suck.
Okay, we can't.